March 8th, 2014. A Boeing 777 vanishes into thin air with 239 souls on board. No distress call, no wreckage, no answers. To this day, it remains the greatest mystery in aviation history. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, a routine red-eye flight that thousands of passengers take every year. 227 passengers, 12 crew members. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a veteran pilot with over 18,000 flight hours, sat in command. The Boeing 777 was one of the safest aircraft ever built. Not a single fatal crash in its entire history up to that point. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 pushed back from the gate. Everything was normal. Families said goodbye. Passengers settled into their seats. No one knew they were about to become part of history's darkest enigma. At 1:19 a.m., the last words came from the cockpit. "Good night, Malaysian 370. The voice was calm, professional, ordinary. 2 minutes later, the aircraft's transponder went silent. Air traffic control in Kuala Lumpur tried to make contact. Nothing. The plane had simply disappeared from their screens. But here's what makes this truly chilling. The aircraft didn't crash. It turned around. Someone in that cockpit knew exactly what they were doing. The Boeing 777 climbed, descended, changed course multiple times. Inside the cabin, 239 people had no idea their plane was flying in the wrong direction. Were they awake? Asleep? Did they know something was terribly wrong? At 2:22 a.m., the aircraft vanished from military radar, but satellite data told a different story. Automatic pings from the aircraft continued for hours. The plane was still flying, still airborne, heading south into the most remote part of the Indian Ocean. At 8:19 a.m., 7 hours after takeoff, the final satellite ping registered. Then, silence. Somewhere over the vast emptiness of the southern Indian Ocean, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 ran out of fuel. The engines quit one by one. The massive aircraft began its final descent into the dark waters below. 239 people gone. Investigation. The search began immediately. It became the most expensive aviation search in history. Millions of dollars, years of effort, underwater drones scanning thousands of square miles of ocean floor. In July 2015, a piece of wing washed ashore on Reunion Island. It was confirmed. MH370 had crashed into the Indian Ocean. But why? How? Who was responsible? Investigators examined every possibility: mechanical failure, hijacking, pilot suicide, fire, explosive decompression. The evidence pointed in multiple directions and nowhere at all. The plane's black boxes were never found. The wreckage remained hidden beneath miles of ocean. Satellite analysis revealed the aircraft's final path. Someone flew that plane for hours into oblivion, deliberately, with purpose. But the identity of that someone and their motive died with everyone on board. 10 years later, the mystery endures. Families still search for answers. Debris occasionally washes up on distant shores, small pieces of a massive puzzle that may never be complete. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 taught the aviation industry a haunting lesson. In an age of constant connectivity, a massive airliner can still vanish without a trace. New tracking systems were implemented, regulations changed, black box batteries were upgraded to last longer. But none of that brings back the 239 souls who disappeared into the night. And none of that answers the question that still echoes across the empty ocean. What really happened to MH370? Some mysteries are never meant to be solved.